Hello everybody, welcome to the Life's Good. My name is AJ. I live in the northeast of England and this is my channel. It's mid-December, it's quite cold, it's quite damp, and although I'd love to be indoors and preparing for Christmas, there are a few things that need to be addressed out here in the greenhouse and the garden in readiness for any bad weather that we're likely to receive, i.e. snow and frost and so on. Now, starting out in the greenhouse this morning, there's just a couple of things I wanted to point out in relation to the greenhouse and the fact that I am in fact growing some food here in the greenhouse. And one of my previous videos I showed you how to sow various seeds in order to bring them on in the greenhouse during winter. So we'll touch on that in a minute. But what I wanted to point out was I have in fact lined my greenhouse with bubble wrap. I acquired the bubble wrap from work. It was going to be recycled or thrown out. And it's an ideal insulator for your greenhouse for during the winter when the weather's really cold. So I've lined everything with the bubble wrap. And in addition, I use either my paraffin or my electric heater, and this little 800 watt electric heater, it's an oil filled one, is ideal. I don't have it set very high, but during the cold nights and really cold days I have this on just to keep the temperature in the greenhouse that little bit higher than freezing, because some of these tender plants will die off if they get too cold, although most of them are quite hardy. I've got some radish and some lettuce, some pea shoots, mustard, cress, some more pea shoots in the front here, a succession of, I'm thinking of perhaps sowing some chilies to give them a little bit of a head start for next year. And I'm also considering some broad beans to bring them on in here and then planting them out sort of February time. It's a thought at the moment. I haven't actually done it, but if I do experiment with that, then I'll show you what I'm doing. So the idea being to sow the beans in cells, in multi-cell trays in the greenhouse, bring them on and then planting them out in the spring. So that's something else we can be doing. There's something else I wanted to show you. Sort of follows on from the little video from the pub under the stairs. The other day I did the little video showing you how to make a drip tray using a 2-litre pop bottle, and I use a 2-litre pop bottle in the greenhouse. This is the sort of thing I'm referring to. It had some lemonade in or something similar, and these make ideal waterers, but what you need to do is discard the lid and acquire the top from a washing up liquid or washing detergent bottle, because very often these will fit on these. And all I do is you remove the cap and that little collar that holds it in place when it's new. Take all that off and then the washing up liquid top fits on, and that makes an ideal waterer in the greenhouse for directing a little bit of water at the base of some of these tender seedlings. Whereas a watering can flattens everything and washes everything away, and you don't want that to happen. So that is a little waterer. I've got one here I've been using. It's full of water, and you can just aim the jet of water where you need it when you're watering these little tender plants. So just another little one for you to use, a 2-litre pop bottle and a washing up liquid top. Ideal little waterer. Well, look, I've got a couple of things to do. What's going on? The pond I need to address. There's a lot of leaf fall. We've got lots of leaves around the garden, and an awful lot of that has ended up in the pond. So I need to clear that out, make sure that the filter's unblocked and that everything is working fine with the pond. I've let Daisy out this morning. You saw at the beginning of the video, you probably saw a very scraggy, scruffy chicken running around the garden. That's Daisy. She's actually been going through molt for whatever reason, middle of winter, she decides to lose all her feathers, so she's looking a little bit rough at the moment. But I've let her out this morning. She's wandering around on the plot, finding all sorts of things to eat. I need to clear away the last of the carrots. We've got carrots left in the ground. Some of those have been spoilt by grubs, insects, something of that nature, but the last of them need to be lifted now, so I will be lifting those in a moment. The parsnips will remain, and my swede will remain. I've got some Cavolo Nero coming on. There's some leaves on there which we could possibly start using. I did have a couple of cabbages, but I managed to lose a lot of that to pigeons the other day. We had about 4 or 5 pigeons came down into the garden and pecked the living daylights out of my 2 cabbages, 3 cabbages here. Why they suddenly descended, I don't know, but they obviously decided they wanted some greens for dinner, and they chose to consume most of my cabbages. Well, I'm going to crack on. I'll take you with me. Let's go and see what's happening out on the plot. Well, in here I have the last of my carrots. Some of them are extremely large, some are really small, but these really shouldn't be left in the ground much longer. They will ruin, they will rot. And if I just lift that now, you can see there's quite a few in here still, most of which are very usable. We'll try and use as many as we can now. We did have rather a lot of carrots this year, and we have been using them, and Cheryl has in fact frozen quite a few, so we have those stored for future use. But in the meantime, we've been using these fresh ones from the garden. But as I said, they're getting to the point now where they do start to go over, and you can in fact get the sort of the woody middles to them. They become a woody stemmed carrot, which is too hard to eat. They don't cook very well. They don't go soft like you would hope. But most of these, as I said, are quite usable. And as you can see, I'm getting quite a few out of the ground. So I'm going to carry on and lift all of these. And in fact, somewhere around here is Daisy. Now normally, when I put the fork in the ground, she's usually right with me, grabbing things, but she's occupied over on the other plot at the moment. She's found a cache of worms, so we'll catch up with her later. Now this is a no-dig plot, and because it is so, I try not to walk on the soil, which is why I've made these areas in such a way that I can reach the middle from either side. So I've cleared carrots away from that side. I've now moved over to this little, what I call a keyhole pathway, so I can now access this side, and I haven't had to walk on the soil. I've given them all a wash. I've taken the tops off, and as you can see, I've got quite a little pile. Now some of these don't look particularly appetizing, although there is a lot of this carrot flesh that we can use. I did mention that we've left them in the ground a long time. There is a little bit of slug damage on the outside, and some of them have started to split, and those that went to seed have got a very woody sort of stem carrot. I've actually discarded those already, but having topped them and cleaned them, I've just weighed them, and I've ended up with 11 pounds 2 ounces of carrot, and that equates to just over 5 kilograms, and that's a mixture of Amsterdam and Autumn King. I've got a few more things to do this afternoon. I need to get onto that pond area. There's a lot of leaves in the pond. I need to fish those out and make sure that the pump and filter system are okay. I need to give Daisy's coop a little clean up before she goes back in, and I might even take some parsnips in to have with our dinner today, and we can certainly have some nice freshly lifted carrot. Well, whatever you're up to, you stay safe, you be happy, look after each other, come back and see us soon. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell, and we'll see you again soon in the Life's Good. Bye bye for now.